swing it. It's a ball, fly ball. Home run!
3, 2, 1. Alright guys, quickly you always do a Raptor update, so let's do it, I guess, right? Last night we had the Raptors winning the 3rd game in a row, 113-99. This team seems to be on a bit of a roll. Well, when I say a bit of a roll, they've won 3 in a row. That's as good as you can get, right?
This team
tonight,
2 games on the road.
Tonight they're playing the Pistons. As we are doing this podcast, the Pistons are up 12-11 in the first quarter. That doesn't mean jack. What are you seeing so far from this team that you like? If anything, are you sort of surprised that a lineup without Lowry and Bargnani is doing so impressively well?
Yes, these were two of their big studs, and neither one of them have performed very well. So I'm a little surprised that they are able to do as well as they have been. But it looks like to me that defensively they've made a recommitment to that part of the game. Whether or not that just means that Bargnani and Lowry are defensive liabilities, I don't know. I'm not a big enough Raptors NBA guy to know if those 2 players have been the reasons why they've been playing so poorly. I can't imagine they're the only reasons. But Calderon's getting a ton of time, obviously. And I think Ed Davis seems to be coming on quite well. And I guess he's got more of a starter's role.
Yeah, and it helps that now Fields is back in the lineup, Anderson's back in the lineup, and Peace is back in the lineup. For a team that doesn't necessarily have a strong small forward position, they have a lot of depth there now, so it almost creates a better atmosphere and a better competition internally to get minutes at that spot.
Well, and DeRozan seems to be the go-to guy for sure right now as far as scoring goes.
Calderon last game, 23 points, 6 assists. I mean, he's leading this team in lots of ways. I mean, he's even the team is saying he's the glue to this team right now. He's the reason that they are sort of making this run.
Well, and Klaiza is getting more time, and he's playing better. He's responding.
And Klaiza's going to get more time, especially with the fact that Bargnani's out, because Klaiza can back up Davis at the 4, and I think as Klaiza as a small forward, I think he's a better fit. So I think he fits well there, and then when you have Valanciunas and Johnson as your centers, I think it creates a better fit there as well. So I think the interesting thing for me is that this team is doing this without Lowry and Bargnani, and if this team is capable of keeping this up, the odds that, not that I believe the Raptors will even look at trading a Lowry, but if they could package a Lowry and Bargnani together, I can't even imagine what they might be able to bring back for a duo like that.
Well, and that's been the rumors, not necessarily the Lowry part of that deal, but the rumors around the internet the last few days anyway, have been that Colangelo is shopping Bargnani and shopping rather aggressively, which I can't say I disagree with based on his performance. We've talked about this in the past, the pros and cons of trading a Bargnani, but obviously right now what you're going to get back for him alone is far less than what you would get when he was playing it this time last year when he was shooting lights out. So I don't know, again, like you said, if Bargnani alone is not going to get much back, therefore I don't think your return on your investment is going to be worth a trade. So you may have to package him with somebody, and that's where, as you mentioned, Lowry fits in nicely, or can fit in nicely, especially if this is the way they're going to go. If they're finally set on Calderon, who a few weeks ago had said, I guess there were rumors that he wanted out, but that was without the playing time. And
the way that Calderon was playing with the playing time, it's hard to see this team winning these games. Lowry was sort of creating a little bit more turnovers. He was sort of being more erratic with his play. Where Calderon seems just to know the plays, are setting them well, and getting everyone involved. I mean, Calderon is sort of showing why he's been the longest serving Raptor to this point, and the fact that people respect him amongst the team.
And the thing that I like about this current roster is there appears to be, and I say appears to be because I'm not going to say that Bargnani doesn't hustle, but this lineup appears to have much more hustle game in, game out from quarter to quarter than they have all season. Again, I'm not going to say that Lowry and Bargnani are not hustle, gritty guys, but this lineup.
You're not going to say that about Bargnani?
Grit, yeah, I would say grit. He lacks an absolute ton of grit in my eyes. I mean, I don't see anything about him that says grit to me. But hustle, I can't say he doesn't hustle. When you're a 7-footer, sometimes it may not look like you're running very fast, but you're covering a ton of ground with 7-foot legs up and down the court. So you can cover a lot of ground. And you may be hustling. It may not look like a Calderon up and down the court because he's bombing it up and down there with little legs. Well, little legs for an NBA player, that is. So I don't know what that is, but they look like they're a little more gritty. They're a little more hustle involved in all their games, and I like that personally. But then again, I'm a hockey guy. That's what I like in the hockey players, right?
I think the team's looking good. I think there's a chance to make a little bit of a run here if they can take out the Pistons. And as we sit right now, when we started this podcast, it was 12-11. Now the Raptors are up 21-19. And if they could take this game and they come again on Friday against the Magic, they can make a 5-game swing here. The season is still very much in doubt, but it definitely creates a little bit more buzz for this team that I think most of us were anticipating when the season began.
Hopefully, it's a good time to build on the buzz because, again, the NHL is looking worse and worse. The Jays' hype is as big as it's been, and it may not, I can't see the Jays doing a whole lot more, maybe a little bit more. So this is a great time for them to try to jump to the forefront, although they're going to battle the World Juniors. So this team has to do something now, or they risk being buried for the rest of the year.
All right, guys, we'll be on any trade rumors, anything that's going on. We'll be back again next week with another Raptor update. Let's hope that they can pull the next 2 games out and make their record even more substantial. They have definitely pulled their record up to substantial levels that they're no longer in the top or bottom 3, which means at this point they would not have a draft pick this season. And I think as we progress and the team gets more home games, I think that sort of goes out the window. This team is looking good, and I'm very happy to see this team gelling as a team like I expected them to at the beginning.